Righty then, it is FA Cup time. League and European competition goes on hold as the greatest cup competition in the world returns for us to see if we can get beyond the semi-final stage. And we have got Leicester, formidable opponent for us this weekend, one we definitely should not and hopefully will not be taking lightly in the slightest. United got some injury worries that we need to be figuring out and we need to be getting through and sorting. But this is what we are here to do, and this is how we are hopefully going to get this done. So, last two results for United. Not a lot of goals. The goals have really dried up. The goals have actually dried up across European football. There's so fewer goals now compared to when we first came out of lockdown. What's the reasons for that? Not sure. Could it be just a pure tiredness thing? Could be. I don't know. But the goals are just down across the board. There's literally less than half as many goals being scored as there was at the start of lockdown per game. Insane. So 1-0 against Milan, 1-0 against West Ham, and obviously a 1-1, which should have been a 1-0 against Milan in the home leg. It's United's last 3 results. We've won 12 of the last 15 FA Cup away games, drawing 1 and losing 2. And both of those defeats came at the quarter-final stage. Grand. United are looking to reach the FA Cup semi-finals for a record 31st time. Leicester's last 3 results then, we got a 5-0 against Sheffield United. It was an absolute demolition last weekend. 2-1 against Brighton and 1-1 against Burnley. They've won 1 of their last 25 meetings with United. They've drawn 5 and lost 19 and none of the last 13. It looks like that record could come to an end, doesn't it? How depressing is that? And they've lost each of their last 5 FA Cup quarterfinals. Brendan Rodgers has changed his system midway through this season again and has recently opted to go with 3 defenders, which is really interesting. Kasper Schmeichel's going to start in net and he's having a decent season, and I think it's going to be Fofana, Soyuncu and Evans that are likely to make up the back 3. Ricardo Pereira and Castagne will probably provide the width, with Ndidi and Tielemans expected to make up the midfield duo again. In terms of the forwards, I think it'll be Perez in a number 10 behind what is a pretty dangerous duo of Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy. The star man. Am I going to go with Jamie Vardy? Nah. I'm going to go with Iheanacho. What? Obviously, you know all about Jamie Vardy. You know his threats. You know what he's likely to do. But this time around, I think Iheanacho could be the one that provides the larger threat for us. He's in the form of his life. Coming off an impressive hat-trick last time out against Sheffield United. Confidence will be sky high. He's got 5 in his last 3, 7 in his last 8. And if given time and space in the box, he can actually really punish United. Well, the team that we're going to go with is going to be Dean Henderson in net, in fine form for United at the moment. Likewise with Luke Shaw, back 4 made up with the rest of them of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof and Maguire. A midfield 2 of Fred and McTominay. James on the right, Pogba on the left, which provides a lot of flexibility because he doesn't stay on the left. Bruno behind Greenwood, assuming Martial, Rashford, Cavani are injured. Yeah, that's the problems that United are facing at the moment. How do you exploit this? Well, you overload the midfield. There you go. That's why Pogba's in there. So it will look a little bit like a midfield diamond. It will look like a 4-4-2 diamond at times. But it'll probably on paper be a 4-2-3-1 like it always is. Now, Ndidi and Tielemans, they're both good on the ball. They're both good off the ball. They're a pair of good midfielders. You give them time, you give them space. They get the ball into Vardy and Iheanacho. They're going to cause you damage. Now, they're going to probably use a system which has 5 midfielders in the midfield area. And if we sort of have the option to slide into a diamond, we can really congest those central areas, prevent any of those balls coming through, tie them up, make it difficult for them, and also look to exploit in behind. The reason I think United kind of have to go with a 3-pronged attack, which would include Pogba sort of as a false left winger with Greenwood and James, because Greenwood and James aren't going to lead the line. James looks to get beyond and has differing success when doing that. Mason Greenwood likes to operate in between the space. And with a 3, honestly, it's not very effective. And I worry for this game because of the lack of a more seasoned number 9. And I even include Tony Marshall in that. Not just Cavani as an option here, but even a just more seasoned number 9 than Mason Greenwood would really cause these problems. You can afford, when you play this United team, to go man-to-man for Mason and follow him into the space where he usually doesn't get followed. When you play a back four against him, if you have one of your centre-halves following him, you've just left space for somebody else to exploit. When you use a back three to do that, what happens is you can just allow that player to go and do what he wants. You have one of you can pick up the spare runner, and you still have a +1 in defence. It's a great system for dealing with players who like to drop off and operate into the space. That is what worries me. You have to have forwards that lead the line. You still have to look to get behind. You have to drag them into difficult positions. The way you do that is you go Bruno, ghost in, Pogba, ghost in on the left, James, ghost in, and you hit him. You go, all four of you push forward, and you're going to make one of them leave a bigger gap than he should be leaving, and that is how you exploit. You try and drag one of them too wide. You try and drag one of them across and get in the gaps either around or in between the other two. That's how you come across or beat a back three. Or, because it's Leicester, they're probably going to want a lot of possession because it's Brendan Rodgers, and you try and draw them out high and hit them in behind, and that's where Dan James' pace and ability could really come and shine, assuming that we don't have Marcus Rashford. It's going to be very difficult for Manchester United. You might see Bruno and Pogba resorting to more long-range shots because they might just be able to close the door on us with that back three. But we're going to have some real intensity in the middle, and we're going to have some real quality in the final third, because this is going to be a hell of an ask for us. That's what I think it's going to go down like. Let me know in the comments, what do you think it's going to go down like? Is there any other options in the starting 11? Could we see Donny van der Beek? I don't think we will. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.